thank all of you all for attending. I see some new faces and I see some old faces. So welcome to all of you all. I see many of our workforce partners. We have two guests from Xavier University. Welcome. Total Community Action, Tri-Parish, Kingsley House, and so many more. So if I'm forgetting anybody, please forgive me. But we welcome and we're so happy that you were able to attend. This is one of New Orleans Business Alliance professional development training sessions. These sessions are designed to cultivate the skills of community members, workforce partners, and direct service providers. We all know as a result of the pandemic, our local community and economy for many students, job seekers, employers, schools, and training providers are looking forward and looking for new resources to assist with our economic recovery. We are so pleased to have our speaker today who's going to speak about LA Career Explorer. This is an economic recovery tool that is available to individuals and agencies in the New Orleans community. It is powered by Headed2, and Headed2 is an educational technology company focused on career exploration and planning. And that's what we want to do today is provide you the tool. They're going to show you how to navigate through the tool, utilize not just for your clients, but also for family members or other individuals who are looking for a new career. Again, thank you for coming. We're recording this session. As you come in, please put your information into the chat, name, phone number, title, agency that you're working with, so we can share with our colleagues and be able to network with each other. If you have any questions, please put in the chat. We will have a question and answer session at the end of the session. So before I introduce our colleague, I have a little poll that I want to take. And I want to ask, are any of you all currently using any exploration tools?
Quickly, I can't hear no voice on my Zoom.
All right, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. So we have a poll up. Is your agency currently using an exploration tool to assist your clients? We're trying to help them with navigating through trying to find a career. So please use the poll and say yes or no. So far, only one person answered, Valerie.
No, almost everyone has answered.
Okay,
we have 18 of 23.
Okay, all right. Give a couple more minutes. And then can you tell me if the majority said yes, they are, or they are not using?
The majority said yes.
Okay, all right. All right, well, thank you for taking the poll. And the majority said that they are using a tool right now. But once you see this tool, you're gonna say, oh, okay, I wanna utilize this tool because I'm telling you, it's definitely gonna provide information on what jobs are available, what salaries. And so I'm so excited that you all are here to take advantage or to participate in seeing what this tool can provide. I'm gonna hand it off now to my colleague, Monique Robinson. She's the Chief Program Officer at Cafe Reconcile.
Hi, Crier. I'll answer to Marie as well. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. So I want to give some background about the Louisiana Career Explorer, the online career exploration tool that has been designed by our partners at Headed2. It was initially introduced to New Orleans in 2015 by G&O Inc. In 2016, many of the OI providers or partners that are on are familiar with the Employ Collaborative, and Employ expanded its use with many of the opportunity partners in New Orleans in an attempt to reduce the number of young people OI in the city by connecting them to various employment and education post-secondary opportunities. In 2018, NOLABA adopted the tool and also expanded the use through its youth demonstration project. Again, a focus on opportunity youth between the ages of 16 and 24. Workforce partners and training providers could use this tool in assessing working with their young people around what they wanted to do, what career pathway were they interested in, what kind of jobs are they interested in. It's a tool that can be used to update, outline your resume, as well as do homework assignments, but again, give local context to what's available in New Orleans as you work with your young people, connecting them to opportunities. And then finally, in 2020, it was expanded. The use was expanded with the launch of the Re-Engagement Center, and through funding with the Aspen Institute, as well as the Conrad and Hilton Foundation. It's being used, it will be used with the Re-Engagement Center and additional OY partners from the Youth Demonstration Project, as well as the OY partners that are working with the Re-Engagement Center to connect young people to employment and post-secondary education opportunities. Next we'll talk about the COVID impact. And so thanks to my colleagues, my former colleagues at NOLABA, much of this information can be found at nolaba.org. And my colleague who's on the phone, the Zoom meeting, Omar Stanton, did a lot of work when the pandemic hit and did a lot of research around what were the economic and workforce impacts on our community. And so in 2020, we saw a dip in the GDP. We had a local loss of revenue in 6 different industries. And a lot of these are surprising because I didn't know these were our top 6 industries. Some I did know, but a few were very surprising. So we lost tax revenue in accommodations and food services, which is, we knew that, oil and gas, retail, professional, scientific and tech services, real estate, and wholesale trade, which accounts for 80%, accounts for our loss of 80% local tax revenue. So New Orleans Parish was hit really hard. As a result of the pandemic, these industries saw an estimated approximately $81 million in reduction in the city tax revenue, which has, of course, long-term implications. Next. This tool on NOLABA's website, it's a dashboard. And again, it highlights the industry job losses due to the pandemic. The data from 2020 showed that, of course, accommodations and food services was the highest industry that suffered the most loss at 25,000 jobs. And then an additional 12,000 jobs were lost across the remaining 5 industries listed on the previous slide. And then in late 2020, the New Orleans metro area, arts, entertainment, and recreation, which New Orleans is known for, the spending by all consumers decreased by about 56% compared to the pre-pandemic numbers. So early on in 2020, before the pandemic hit, or that we were aware of the pandemic, we're talking about Q1 of 2020, we saw about 56% drop in those in that consumer spending post-March 2020. Additionally, restaurant and hotel spending by all consumers decreased by 33%. In comparison, nationally, consumer spending across the entertainment and recreation industry decreased by about 48% in the restaurant and hotel industries. Consumer spending, again, decreased about 32%. So New Orleans was economically and workforce developmentally impacted in large part by the pandemic. Next. And so when we talk about the impacts of a natural disaster or a pandemic, you know, a lot of job seekers, whether it's youth or adult, have been forced to pivot. How do you do that? What's out there? What can be used? There may have been interest parties or individuals that were job searching because they wanted to get out of the retail industry or out of the hotel or restaurant industry and pivot to another industry that was growing, i.e. the healthcare field. So Next, I'm going to introduce Catherine DeRozier from Headed2, and who's our partner who's been working with us over the years from Employ to NOLABA, and now currently with expanding the use of Career Explorer in our community. And she'll go into depth about what this tool is, how it can be used, and we'll actually do a walkthrough. So Catherine, turn it over to you.
Thank you, Monique. And thank you, Angela and Valerie and Omar for providing this opportunity today. I'm going to turn my video off because I can't watch myself speak. It's kind of unnerving, but I wanted everybody to see that I am a real person. So I'm here, I'm Catherine. Think of me as a resource to you. And we'll give you the opportunity to follow up with us. So I'm gonna hide my face and get started. So I do have a few slides to set the context, and then I will do a live demonstration of the platform, and then we'll do question and answer. And so to set the context, when Monique said, you know, with the pandemic, there's an opportunity to pivot. So I think it's important that we ask ourselves, what's the difference between a job and a career? And the answer is a job can be taken away. So right now, when you think about the pivoting that's going on, the career transitioning, don't think of just providing job search assistance, but career search assistance. And I share this because of my own story that when I graduated from college, I got a triple major, English, sociology, and philosophy. My mother said to me, Catherine, what will you do with that? You'll be able to write about it, think about it, talk about it, but you'll never eat it. And what she was saying to me is I'd never get a job. And I think sometimes we need to think about job transitions as really career pathways and to help individuals explore different opportunities and not just the next job or a bridge job, but to put it together as a career trajectory. So with that, a little bit about Headed2. As Angela said, we are an education technology company. We've been in business for more than 15 years. And really what we provide is a career navigation platform that is a way to ensure that individuals have the skills to participate in the local labor market. And so you can trust the solution. We power several state systems, just to highlight a couple: Pennsylvania Career Zone, California Career Zone, and the Nevada Career Explorer. Those are all brought to those communities by Headed2. And the reason why we do this is it's really to help individuals put together what's your plan. So it's kind of a play on the company Headed2, where are you going? So that's a way to remember us. So when I mention a career navigation platform, and you can go to la.headed2.com now, create an account. I encourage you to do that. This is a sponsored resource at no cost to you. The New Orleans Business Alliance pays for the annual sponsorship to make this available to the public at no cost. So end users, career seekers can create an account. US program providers, workforce professionals, educators can create an account as well. And there are three primary aspects of the system. One is to serve as a career information database. So when you think about researching career pathways, different occupations, labor market information, then there's a whole set of career seeking tools for individuals to explore careers, do self-assessments, and put together a career plan. And the third component is the Local Opportunities Network. We work with the Business Alliance to bring in custom content so that in addition to pulling data from state and federal data sets, we bring in information and learning opportunities specific to your community. When we think about positioning this resource, the Louisiana Career Explorer, as part of your workforce recovery efforts, the overall desired outcomes are to expand individual technical skills and competencies. That is, your career seekers understand that to qualify for employment in a new occupation, they understand what training programs, which industry credentials are available to them. Also, to reduce barriers to employment through career search assistance. Again, not just job search assistance, but career search assistance, really thinking about that pathway, not just the next job, but the next series of jobs that result in a career. Reducing the cost to local workforce agencies. Again, the Business Alliance makes this resource available at no cost. So when you think about promoting this in the community, individuals who are currently without employment or underemployed, they can get on this platform, begin doing their career planning, and share that information prior to ever being enrolled in a program. So again, encouraging individuals to do that career seeking activity on their own. And also reducing recruitment costs to employers. Through the platform, you have the ability to look at and compare different occupations and access work-based learning so that you can experience working in that field prior to pursuing employment. And then lastly, but probably one of the most important things is to think about increasing community labor market literacy. What's in demand? What's fastest growing? How do I get myself in one of those pathways? So the other point I will make is often as workforce development professionals and education providers, we think about two buckets of skills, soft skills and hard skills. But there really is a third bucket of skills around career navigation skills so that the individuals can understand through self-discovery, who are they? Then think about where am I going? What are the occupational training programs, industry certifications available in my community? And then how do I get there? Setting goals. That's something different about our platform. And you'll see today, it's around what we currently offer and what we'll offer next in some of the features we're releasing after the new year is that whole planning interface. You have a lot of resources in your community that allow you to consume career information, but to really put together an individualized career plan that leads to employment and career advancement. This is just a quick overview of the core features of the system that I'll be demonstrating. You'll see that you can go through and do Discover Possibilities, which is a set of activities and assessments, exploring pathways, that's all the career research, and then your personalized career hub. Think of this as your digital portfolio from within the platform. You'll see today that I'll show you how we've brought in custom content around the New Orleans Business Alliance priority industry sectors and how to do career exploration that way. And then we'll also take a look at work-based learning that's made available. And so there are different ways that you can promote activities, whether it's around career awareness, so career fairs, industry tours, career exploration, promoting job shadowing, mock interviews, field trips, and again, putting these opportunities in line with career exploration. And then lastly, career preparation activities, internships, apprenticeships, entrepreneurships, and service learning. So with that, I'm going to pause. Angela, seeing if there are any questions before I go into the demonstration.
Okay, no questions yet.
All right. So I've got to shift a couple of bars around. You'll see that here's the landing page. Before I go to where I'm logged in, I'm going to show you where you'll go. When you go to la.headed2.com, you'll land here and you'll see that you're not signed in. If you scroll down, you'll see Get Started Today and hit Register for an Account. You put in create your username, your password, and then describe what you are. Are you a career seeker? Are you a parent? Are you a teacher? Something else? And then it's going to ask you to input your information and create an account.
Are you? Did you join that call? No,
I think somebody's not muted.
Okay, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you.
And so again, when you come to la.headed2.com, again, scroll down to the bottom and create an account. And so I'm going to hop over to where I'm already logged in. I'm sorry, I've got to move a couple of my toolbars again. So here on the landing page, once you're logged in, you'll see up at the top, it says, "Hi, Catherine," and everything's been personalized to me. So it's collecting all of my information, keeping track of my progress, and making recommendations to me. If I scroll down, you'll see here where I showed you the Discover Possibilities, and I'll demonstrate each of these. Explore Pathways, my summary report. Then you'll see my personal stuff. And these are tiles that are like breadcrumbs. They show where I've been in the system. If I scroll down, you'll see local opportunities, again, work-based learning, and then the promoted industries. If I select this, you'll see that it takes me to a sector spotlight. And again, these are identified by the Business Alliance. And you'll see here as an example, we have the blue and green infrastructure. If I scroll down, you'll see that I can learn about the sector and then real-time job postings associated with this priority sector. If I select a job posting, we bring it within the platform. So you're not going around, hopping around on different websites trying to make sense of your pathway. And if I scroll down, you'll see there are details about the job posting. I can see occupations to which it applies, top educational clusters, and then similar job postings. So again, I'm being able to promote, when we talk about in-demand high priority, it's promoted from the landing page of the system. And if I select the New Orleans Business Alliance, you'll see that it will take me to a list of the top 5 sectors in New Orleans. And again, each of these industry spotlights, you can click forward and take a look at job postings associated with it. And I'll also point out that in addition to the job postings, at the bottom of each sector spotlight, you also have the ability to take a look at those education career clusters. So when you think about a service to career seekers, you're putting in-demand information in front of them, then they're able to quickly see what are those highest paying occupations associated with this cluster, the fastest growing, the most employed. Again, when we think about labor market career literacies at the top, you see that for this cluster, the number of openings, the number of recent graduates, and the average annual wage. So when you think about economic self-sufficiency, pursuing a career in this cluster, is it likely that the individual will experience economic self-sufficiency? So again, each of the career clusters contains this information. So I'm gonna hop back to the landing page and just highlight the local opportunities. Here, if I view all, you'll see this is custom content that's been added to the system. And as an example, Cafe Reconcile has a program profile. So if you want to make referrals to other program providers, encourage your career seekers to take a look at different programs available. Here's Cafe Reconcile, and it's all information about what they offer, some social media. You can add videos to your program profile, and then the ability to send a form, complete a form and submit interest to the program provider from within the system. So again, lots of information just from the landing page. And to get started, I am going to access Discover Possibilities. So within here, you see that there are a set of activities that the individual can complete. And I'm not going to go through all of them today, but I do encourage you to create an account yourself and do some of these activities just to show you the logic and how things work. I'll show you the quick assessment. This is based upon the Hollins codes. So you see these are personal attributes that you use to self-reflect and describe yourself. And as I scroll over the wheel, you'll see that the definition of the attribute is populating in the right-hand side. So if I select 3, and I'll select realistic, investigative, and enterprising, from here, if I click view results, it's going to return a list of occupations for me to explore. Once I do that, I also have the ability to add a filter. You see that there are 61 results. I could add a filter, say I'm interested in manufacturing. And I have some college post-secondary education training, but not a 2-year degree. So I can add these filters, and you'll see now that it's returned 14 results instead of 61. In addition to displaying occupations to explore, on the right-hand side, it's also pointing out education clusters for me to explore. When you have an occupational listing, you can select up to 4 occupations to compare. And when you do this, it does it on the fly. It will compare those occupations, taking a look at the job zone. So that's the educational attainment, which career cluster it is assigned, different attributes associated with that occupation, the overall annual salary, projected employment. And from here, you have the ability to take a look at the occupation profile. So I will say there are 900 ONET occupational profiles, that is profiles identified by the U.S. Department of Labor that are employed in industry. We have all 900 profiles from within the system. And again, for this occupation, you can take a look at some smart labor market information. What's the overall annual demand in employment, the average salary, taking a look at the educational attainment level. If you scroll down, you'll see that you have the ability to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. This is important because as you take a look at information, the system will make recommendations to you based upon the things that you like. If I scroll down, you'll see knowledge, skills, and abilities associated with the occupation, and then other similar occupations. What I think is also interesting when you think about career navigation skills is where is the employment across different industries? So you can see if this is a transferable or transportable kind of occupation or the skills associated with it. And when we think about skills associated with any occupation in the system, as you complete activities, you have the ability to view your compatibility. So with this occupation, I can see based upon the skills that I've self-reported or through my interest profiler, work keys, if you're using work keys skill assessment, you'll see if it's a good match for me. And if I scroll down, you'll see my improvement plan. And because I've obviously for demo purposes, I've completed a lot of activities in the system. So it shows that I have the skills necessary for this occupation. So again, this was just from the landing page into the Discover Possibilities. and doing the interest profiler or the quick assessment. I will show you the interest profiler. This is a very popular assessment, and it's a 30-question assessment. I'm not going to do all 30 questions, but I'll resume it so you can see the types of questions that I ask. So it steps the career seeker through 30 questions, and there's a statement. And so you just simply click your facial response for how you feel about doing that activity. So what about singing in a band? Well, I kind of like that. Taking care of children at a daycare center? Not so much. Sell merchandise at a department store? I do like selling stuff. Would you like to keep records? And again, based upon your individual results, gives you a top level analysis of what your interests are. And then just like the quick assessment, taking a look at the occupations associated with it. And you see that those are in orange, have a good fit for me. So I have 65 results. I can click forward, take a look at this occupation just as we did before. And I'm going to highlight this time on this profile, your opportunities. So for this occupation, you can see what are the education and training programs associated with it, any industry certifications, real-time job postings, and if there are any promoted companies. And I will show you that just as all 2- and 4-year degree programs have a profile, we also bring forward industry certification. So that's really important when you think about rapid reemployment, the ability to put somebody in, say, a 6 to 10-week training program, have them take the exam for an industry recognized credential, and then have that credential to put in as part of their resume. So again, going down through the discover possibilities, taking a look at a couple of the assessments. The last thing to show you from the activities section or discover possibilities is your budget, your lifestyle. This is important because sometimes people don't know what they want to do, but they know how they want to live. So this is around financial literacy, thinking about where do you live, and then making some lifestyle choices. So are you going to rent an apartment? Do you want to buy a house of your own? Are you going to live with family? Taking a look at utilities, what types of, often cable television's not needed, or home telephone service any longer, but certainly the internet. So again, this can be good working with a group or a cohort, thinking about, how you want to live, and therefore what kinds of skills will you need. So again, social choices, shopping, how often do you shop? Overall, transportation, I don't own a car, you take public transportation, how does that figure in to your overall budget? Thinking about healthcare, will you pay for it or will you be on somebody's plan? Do you need to pursue any post-secondary education and training or an industry certification? What will that cost? Also, what about savings? And you'll see that it returns your monthly spending. You can add another expense such as childcare, or if you have hobbies that you pay for. And if I scroll down, it says my minimum annual salary is about $40,000. And then viewing the occupations, just as the other assessments, return a list of occupations based upon your personal preferences. So does the budget. So again, the ability to take a look at those occupations that are going to meet my lifestyle need. And so from here, I just scroll down and you see the list of occupations. And just as we've done before, I can click forward, take a look at the occupational profile. And again, the ability to thumbs up, thumbs down. And the last thing that I will show from an occupational profile is the ability to, if you've worked in this, you can add it to your resume. You can add a journal, which is kind of like a Post-it note saved to your digital portfolio, or create a plan. And you can see that there are two types of plans. You can plan for career exploration or plan for a job application. So each of these, if you select it, it's going to step you through a set of tasks. And you can see that it tells you, to research the occupation. You can save that and go forward. And then at the end, you'll see that all of the activities, it's added my budget. And you'll see, here's my summaries, and it will save this plan to my career hub. So again, not just consuming career information, but converting it into a career action plan from within the platform. And if you are working with program participants and you sync up with them, you can take a look at their career plans and save it. If you're doing case management or documenting career readiness, you have the ability to do that. The The last thing I wanted to show within Explore Pathways, again, I won't demonstrate all of these, but this is your career research. So you can look at career clusters, you can look at post-secondary education and training, occupations, fields of study, industry certifications. But I do want to just show you that there are all 16 career clusters identified by the U.S. Department of Education. Each cluster has a cluster profile. So as an example, here's information technology. I can take a look at occupations: highest paying, fastest growing, most employed. Again, those different opportunities associated with this career cluster. I can see companies that are associated with this cluster, and then take a look at the overall pathway. So when we talk about career pathways and career clusters, this makes it real. So within the IT cluster, I can look at a specific pathway, and I can see the occupations within this pathway, and then I can see those post-secondary programs. So here's a description of that program, and then I can see institutions associated with it. And here, just as every occupation and cluster has a profile, so does every institution. And so I can scroll down. You can do a quick, another little financial literacy. What will it cost me? You can take a look at, based upon average salary, average cost, what will you have left over? So again, not to go in great detail, but I did want to show you that there are financial literacy tools embedded throughout. One thing I didn't show you back in Discover Possibilities are the job application tools. So here there's a resume builder, a letter builder, a reference builder. Each of these has, you can see all my resumes. And you can see that it's going to step me through what is my objective, my employment, education. So I can create my resume or my reference builder all from within the platform. And then when you're ready to look for jobs, simply do a job search in here, and you'll see that it's looking for job openings, apprenticeships, and internships, and the ability to filter. And we're going to change the zip code. Let's do, you'll see, again, bringing forward all those job postings. The last thing I will show you that after you create an account, you'll want to go to the Educators Corner, and you'll see your Headed2 account. And a Headed2, general Headed2 account is for the career seekers, students, program participants. You'll want to request a free Educator account. And so, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in just a few minutes, but once you create a free Educator account, you are able to sync up with individuals that you manage if you're a program provider or an educator from within the system. So I'm going to pause and see if there are any questions.
Let's see. There is one question. It's a great question. Xavier wants to know, as a career counselor, is there a way to add clients to your own profile in order to see their activity in the system? Or do we have to rely on them sharing the information with us?
No, there is a way. So you'll see I'm logged in as an educator. So on my landing page, you see here, I have my educator code. If I give this educator code, my unique code, to an individual, they can sync up with me so that I can see them and manage. And you see that I have this manage bar. So when you request your free educator account, you're going to get this manager bar that shows you, here's your educator code to share with your program participants. And then you can click manage users or manage lessons. And I'm not going to click on the manage users if we want. My colleague Hannah can do that in just a little bit because I'm in the live system. So if I click users right here, you're going to see real user accounts. And for purposes of confidentiality, I don't want to show those. And then you see that you also have lessons. There's a whole lesson management interface so that you can assign different lessons to the individuals that you manage. They complete the lessons from within the system. So they can be our default lessons, or you can add your own lessons, and they'll complete them and submit them back to you. You can manage their progress. So the answer is yes. And there will be the opportunity for you to let us know if you want the Headed2 team to follow up with you to do a more in-depth demo as it relates to your program and working with your program participants or students.
He says, awesome.
All right, so I'm going back. So that's the what's available now. As far as what's coming next, this is kind of the really cool stuff. Not that this isn't cool what we just did, but we are working with the Nevada State Library and the Governor's Office of Economic Development in Nevada to add a skills decoder component to the system. So you'll see that for career seekers, that is for students, older youth, younger youth, adults, we're adding a skills decoder, a goal tracker, and some additional custom compatibility analytics. And here's a preview of the skills decoder, and this will be released after the new year. So you'll see that this is designed for those who were impacted by the pandemic. When you enter the system in your career hub, it's going to say, what's your goal? Where are you headed to today? And then you'll say either I want to explore career paths, I want to become job ready, or I want to apply to college. So again, meeting career seekers where they are at their point of need. And so for today's example, it's I want to become job ready or I want to get reemployed. So you'll see that I selected the build an employment plan, and this is going to step me through a set of tasks in order to pursue reemployment. So it's going to say, what's your most recent occupation? What's your highest level of education? And now let's decode your skills based upon your work experience. So I'm going to show you the skills decoder component, but you'll see that after we do the skills decoder, then the Career Explorer will step you through setting your education preferences. So do you have time to go back for 3 months of training or 2 years and pursue a 2-year degree? Assess the preparation involved in pursuing the career pathway. Are you ready for reemployment right now? You already have the skills. Do you need to pursue a program? If so, where is it offered? And then let's work on your job application. So here is the skills decoder. And again, this is designed to help individuals. If you've been in workforce development for a while, you know that we went through this exercise probably 10 years ago with transitioning military. How do we award credit, post-secondary credit, for experience that you've gained in the military? So this is kind of applying that concept to civilian workforce. Is based upon your prior work experience. Say you've worked in hospitality for 10 years, and that's very similar in New Orleans as it is to Nevada. How do we decode your skills so that we understand how your work experience potentially translates to college credit and other employment opportunities? So here, what is your most recent experience? We're going to say I'm a job seeker. I was recently unemployed. What was your most recent job? And you simply put in your job title, your employer, and then describe what you did. And then we are implementing an algorithm that will pull information from different data sets to present a list of skills and work activities for you to respond to. And so here it is. It says that based upon your recent job and your employer, tell us about your experience. And you'll see on the left-hand side, you never did this work activity, or on the right-hand side, you always did this. And so what we're determining is that your level of frequency in doing a work activity estimates what your skill level or proficiency is in doing that work activity or demonstrating that skill. So this is an example in Nevada. Somebody was laid off as a concierge. So we've pulled forward different tasks or skills associated with being a concierge. And we're asking the career seeker, how often did you provide attraction or event information to patrons? And this is with library patrons. And so again, it's never, occasionally, always, or somewhere in the middle. And from answering the series of questions, it's going to give you a skills estimator based upon your work experience. This is your level of skill across these different ONET work activities. So that then the Career Explorer can return a list of occupations that might be next occupations for you to explore, or different job postings, or post-secondary education and training programs that might help you remediate any gaps that you have in making that career pivot, as Monique said. As far as what's next coming for Navigator features, and we use Navigator as a general term for educators, career coaches, case managers. We're updating the Navigator dashboard, so your ability to interact with individuals that you manage or coach. I'm adding additional coaching tools, and then some career seeker insights. And here's just a mock-up of where we're going. So you'll see that when you log in with your free Educator account, You'll be able to see your users, how active are they, how many lessons have they completed, how many assessments have they completed. You can assign them lessons. You can also take a look at, are they engaging with the local opportunities or the work-based learning opportunities within your community. You can also make recommendations. So if you're working with job seekers who are making that career transition, if you know different occupations or employers that are in demand, you can pull those out of a library and assign those opportunities to a career seeker to explore. So again, this is just a mock-up to give you an idea of what that new Career Navigator interface will look like. When I speak of Career Navigators, as I said, there's a free Educator account. So again, through the New Orleans Business Alliance sponsorship, they make it available to the career seeker to create an account at no cost, and to program providers or educators, and you can manage, I think it's 25 or 50 users, do some basic reporting and assign lessons. If you upgrade, which this is not a sales pitch, but I want you to know that you can do a premium Educator account, and that's $89, and you get some more features. And then if you're a school or an organization and you need to work with groups and you need a unique URL, you need single sign-on, you want to put in your local opportunities, we do have an option for that as well. But again, it's our goal today is to increase the awareness of the tool, encourage you to create an account, encourage you to use it with the individuals that you coach or manage or educate. And then if you need additional features or additional power, if you will, to reach out to us. So again, today is all about helping individuals to build that self-knowledge, giving them the skills to investigate the world of work in relationship to themselves through self-assessment, increasing that labor market literacy. What are those in-demand industries, the promoted sectors by the Business Alliance, real-time job opportunities or career pathways, and then really putting that goal setting and planning component on steroids, knowing that we're going to release new planning interfaces after the new year. And again, taking us back full circle is really enhancing the career navigation skills for individuals so that they can employ strategies that lead to economic self-sufficiency. So with that, I would say the next steps are to go to the Louisiana Career Explorer, create an account, and be sure to request a free Educator account. So with that, Monique, I don't know if you have any partners that want to share how they've used the system, or if anybody's on the call that has taken a look at it and has something to share, but I think this is kind of where I stop talking and let other people share. So that's what I'm going to do.
Sure. Thank you, Catherine. So yes, we do. I'm going to allow our partners, I'm going to have one of our partners from Urban League go first, as she has another event at the same time. So I'm going to have Cherie Duckworth, the Vice President of Urban League of Louisiana's Office of Workforce Development, go first and just discuss about how when the pandemic started in early 2020, how her organization used Louisiana Career Explorer to help transition to an online platform for their participants. And so I'll turn that over to Cherie, and then when she's done, we'll have Models for Success share their story. Cherie, you're on.
Great morning. Thank you, Monique, for that. Great morning, everyone. As Monique said, I am Cherie Duckworth, the Vice President of Urban League's Office of Workforce Development. And forgive me for being short. I'm actually in another conference at the same time, so I'm stealing some time away from conference. But the Urban League is truly appreciative of the partnership that we have with the New Orleans Business Alliance, and the opportunity that we were given to use the Louisiana Career Explorer portal. As Monique said, we did pivot to this portal, but we had it a little bit before pandemic, and then the pandemic happened. And so we elected to use the portal because we did not have any online platform like this to use for our youth participants, and hoping to use it for our adults as well, because we do have some adults that need to be able to pivot through this portal. But we primarily use the tool, again, for our youth so that they can explore, the world of work through a variety of activities. And one of the great features was that our participants was able to progress and see their progress at their own pace. Now, again, we did use a tool for a number of reasons, but mainly for the career cluster activity that it provided. We needed our participants to better understand their chosen careers and how to matriculate within those careers, as well as the wages that they were earned in the careers that they were choosing. What's the entry level? What's the mid-level? If there was any management level or executive levels, we wanted them to understand that without us having to tell it to them. They were able to do those particular careers. Now, we are actually inside of 2 schools right now with the STEAM program, and we will be using the tool for these youth as well. We have a pre-apprenticeship for cybersecurity that we're building. And so this tool is really going to help us in building that curriculum that we need and giving us access to all the activities built around the class that we will be offering inside of these 2 schools. And those individuals will be able to track themselves while they're using it. We'll help them to build out their individual career plans, as well as to build their resumes and cover letters. All the things that the person said before me, I was just sitting here saying, if I could just say ditto, because that's exactly what we were using the tool for and plan to go forward with using the tool for. I'm going to stop there, Mo, because I'm speaking at another engagement and they're actually texting me now. But if you do not have this tool, it is really a great tool to have. It has so much more, and we do plan to look into getting the advancement features for this particular tool. I've not seen a tool like it yet, honestly. And I know some of us use the workforce hire system, but I think I like this tool just a little bit better. It's easier to manipulate and maneuver and help our participants to matriculate where they are.
Thank you, Cherie. All right.
Thank you, Cherie. Thank you, Cherie.
You're welcome.
All right. Next, we have Gilbert Cook. Mr. Cook is with Models for Success Professional Workforce Services. He's the Education and Career Coordinator. Models for Success, they do the outreach and recruitment for our local American Job Center here in New Orleans called Job One and their youth program. So Gilbert, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Monique, for having me. And I can attest to everything that the individual said before me in regards to how an asset it was for us to be able to use this platform. And I want to thank this Business Alliance for allowing us to be able to do a seamless transition from none of us were expecting the pandemic. Because we have a live class that we were bringing in consistently, participants coming in, and we were able to use the platform in a way to keep our participants engaged, and it gave us a real way to assess where they were. We used the career exploration consistently to the point where we was able to identify the interests of what the participants wanted to do, and then plug them into what those particular interests were or career paths that they wanted to take. And so a lot of times, what I really gained from it for the most part as well is it had some social interactions where it allowed those participants to kind of monitor their own level of how their personalities will match them with job sources and things like that. So it had a lot of different areas in the particular website that was very instrumental in the way that we used it for our platform. So it was very instrumental. A lot of things came up as she was doing it as well that I heard, that I was smiling because I realized that it was one of the things that helped our participants to keep a connection with what we were doing and stay forward in progressing toward their career path.
Thanks, Gilbert. And I'll finally close out just to say, because we almost at time, that what is also attractive about this platform, they not only use words, but pictures. And so as we talk about different levels of literacy, this is quite helpful in case you have some challenges around literacy. And so I'll turn it back over to my colleague at NOLABA, Angela.
Well, thank you, and thank everybody for attending. I definitely want to do a shout out to all our agencies who actually have participated and have attended. This tool provides a plethora of information and different types of tools that can assist your participants, your students, to decide on their career pathway. So are you all interested in a follow-up one-on-one conversation with Catherine? You can just say yes or no. And then we will make sure that she can follow up with you. Oh, great. All right. And so again, we want to thank everybody for coming. Urban League, Cafe Reconcile, Kingsley House, PCA, Liberty's Kitchen, Models for Success, Xavier University, Tri-Parishes Works. And if I left off anybody, please hurry and put it in the chat. Catherine has provided her information on the slide so that we can make sure that she follows up with you. We have another session coming up in about 2 weeks on financial fitness. And so we'll be inviting you all to that also. Again, because I love what this tool does is the budget your life. One of the pieces that they have included, because we know that young people and people in general have a lifestyle, and this tool can help them to determine if they're making enough to meet that lifestyle, right? And so we want to thank everybody again. We look forward to following up with you and to inviting you to our next session. Thank you. Have a great day.